Select screen. These are some just basically example characters that we built up. The one on the far right is an example of some of the heavier armor you can get in the game. That's sort of like the high-end heavy combat suit. The guy in the middle is more like a mid-range, low to mid-range level character. He's armed with a baseball bat with nails in it, so pretty basic armaments. And the one on the left is another more high-end character, dual revolvers and body armor, trench coat, that sort of thing. Sort of starting at the beginning, our character creation process is strictly focused on cosmetics. You don't make any mechanical decisions in character creation because we basically feel like the first time you're going through, you don't know how to play the game. So making a bunch of decisions about what stats you're going to be good at or what skills you're going to be good at, you don't know what those do yet, so don't want people to regret their choices. So we've got lots of stuff like, you know, you can choose different heads with different facial structures, and then change the face a little more. You've got skin colors to make people look old, by putting wrinkles on them, eye color. You've got, you know, all kinds of crazy haircuts, you know, mohawks. Males get 2 levels of facial hair, like a stubble layer and an actual hair layer. Women get lipstick and eyeshadow because facial hair would be weird. We've got all kinds of different piercings you can get. We got facial tattoos, war paint, body tattoos. Men can set their body hair. Women get a belly piercing. You can set your shirt and shoes. Your pants and jacket, or everyone starts with the same one. But you can choose what shirt and shoes you start with. We didn't want to deal with a lot of customization for starting characters on clothes because it's a loot-based system. As soon as you go out into the world, you're going to be finding better gear. We don't want people to spend a lot of time making a cool outfit only to have it be thrown off by the first, you know, item they find. But what was I thinking? I was thinking something about most of the gear in the game is crafted gear. So crafting is a huge part of the game. Basically, all the best gear comes from crafters. 95% of the items in the game are craftable, so you tend to get components from creatures and scavenging as opposed to finished goods. So there's a lot of you two get out of the game. No, thank you. Yeah, that's the summer way. So these are fairly simple tasks for the most part. You just kind of run around, flip switches, kill guys, go to different locations to get people used to playing the game. You can skip the tutorial. The first character you talk to in the game, you can't skip the tutorial if you want to. So you never have to play through it twice if you don't want to. And basically, as you go through, also you're introduced to a lot of characters and storylines that come into play later in the game. So a lot of the people you meet in the tutorial, you end up interacting with later in the game as well. We want to get people basically involved in the storyline as quickly as possible, and get people invested in what's going on. And to give you an idea of the overall sort of flavor of the game, the first weapon you get in the game, you get by pulling it out of the basically out of the head of a corpse. So you get the axe. And this is our combat system is first-person shooter-based combat. Basically, to hit somebody, I put my reticle over them, click the mouse button. If they're in range, I hit. This circular reticle is used for melee weapons and shotguns. It's range weapons have a smaller reticle because you're just basically hitting one point as opposed to the first shotgun.
Is there a difference from where you hit and you take more points or not?
Yeah, if you get hit in the head, you take more damage. If you get hit in the limbs, you take less damage.
Super.
Also, once you hit, it uses an RPG-style back-end to calculate the damage. So after the headshot calculation, you basically look at, it takes my weapon damage versus your armor, my attack skill versus your defense skill. So it's basically a FPS front-end on an RPG back-end. So I'll sneak up on this guy. Kill him. Take his stuff. So now I've got an assault rifle. At this point in the tutorial, we teach the player how to advance their character. We have a classless advancement system. As you go through the game, you earn experience points, which you earn by killing guys, doing missions, crafting things, or scavenging things. You can't actually go through the whole game and get to max level without ever killing anybody. As you go through, every 10th of a level you go up, you get 2 APs, or what we call advancement points. which you spend on your attributes and skills and stuff like that. So you can basically spend on whatever you want to actually raise. In the tutorial, the whole point of doing this is showing you how to spend points on raising your rifle skill so you can use the rifle you just got. But you can also spend points on stats, which determine a lot of the basic functionality of your character, such as endurance determining how many hit points you have, strength determining how much gear you can carry, then you've got skills, which determine what kind of gear you can use a lot of the times, or what special abilities you have. For example, first aid allows you to heal your friends, group tactics allows you to buff out your party, social lets you get better prices from merchants, and also each of the skills is related to attributes. For example, rifle is related to perception and dexterity. You have to max out those two attributes to max out your rifle skill. We've also got mutations, which are basically special abilities you can learn. You have to find. Everyone starts out with the alpha mutation path, which gives you some basic buffs and heals and things of that nature. But from there, to learn other mutation paths, you have to find injectors in play in the game to awaken those paths, basically. So they open up new paths with a new set of special abilities, such as you can learn pathotransmission, which makes you a living plague carrier, and you can learn a lot of third or first person. Also, got scopes you can zoom in and out with. So the control scheme is generally the same as FPS games. Got a hard to get a target out of it. Playing it regularly makes the control really hard. We've got all kinds of weapons from assault rifles like this. We've got rocket launchers, crossbows, pistols, revolvers, rusty shivs, pipes, parking meters, chunks of concrete on the end of a stick, swords, all just a huge range of equipment. I'll actually mix it out here in abandoned graveyard. In Northfields, it basically has been overrun by a vampire mutant and his crazy cultist followers. So there's an underground level you go into that's an old mausoleum.
Okay, alright, yeah, because that's what's on the meeting thing, it's 4875. So what was the one you want me to go to when you get outside? Okay, I'll head over there right now.
That is the Unreal Engine 3?
What's the what?
The Unreal Engine 3?
No, this is actually your own engine. Ah, crap. Not a very good shot. There we go. But let's get an idea of some of like the desert environments we've got. In here is the mausoleum level you can go to go fight the cult, basically. Unfortunately, this is on our actual beta server. You can actually see some of the chat going through here. So I don't have cheat codes. So I can't actually run through this place, and because I will be horribly killed.
God mode on.
I wish I could. It would make things a lot easier. We actually have Uber mode as our thing. I'll hop out and show one of the other environments.
Yeah, it's like